Welcome back to the live stream, people. Welcome back to the live stream, people. Today, we are going to be talking about something which is sensitive for some of us, but it's something which I like to discuss. Are UK tradespeople being underpaid? Right? That is the subject. I've got a lot of comments most recently about some of the videos which I've done, especially the one about Australia and why UK qualified tradespeople are finding it hard to find a job. Yeah, that will be linked at the end of this video. But the reason for the conversation today is because, like I said, I've received a lot of comments on some of the videos about an apprentice, I'm supposing, who is a plumber, who's completed his apprenticeship within London, and he moved to Australia so he could further his career, but also jump from earning £140 working in South London as a plumber to moving over to Australia to getting £400 a day. So why are so many skilled tradespeople leaving the UK? That's the question today, people. So is it as simple as it's just about the money? Or is it because more and more people overseas are starting to come here? Is it the lifestyle? You know, I wouldn't mind being on a beach, finishing work, going to the beach, chilling out, not watching any TV. I could live with that. I don't know, you lot might be upset because you might not get so many YouTube videos. But tonight, on this live, I want to go over it and speak about some of the options what are also available for all of us to be able to explore at whatever time you feel like it. So I've already discussed about Australia, but Canada and Dubai and also Saudi Arabia is also doing well. But before we start, I would like you guys to drop comments in the chat, or if not, drop comments underneath this video, because it helps me be able to make better videos for you guys. I feel that the Australian one was really good. The qualification was one that was quite good as well. Interesting to hear back from a lot of you lot. So I always ask people, what trade are you in? Because I'm a plumber. And where are you watching from? And what is your current day rate? So don't lie about it neither, because I know everyone likes to hype up how much they're earning. We don't need to do that anymore. We just need to tell the truth, innit? So, when we're talking about wages, taxes, and living and quality and transferring your qualifications, that's a major part of integrating into a different country, right? So, like I said to you before, Brisbane in 2023, they've got the Olympics, right? So the weather's going to be amazing over there. Australia still has this crisis when it comes to the properties, so they're behind on that, and they kind of need tradespeople. So I want to learn a little bit more from you guys how easy it was for some of you lot to convert your qualifications over to go to Australia or to go to any other country. Some of you lot might be listening from Dubai. Some of you lot might be listening from Saudi Arabia, and you might be English based. It's always interesting to hear from some of you lot. And what I will do is I'm going to start getting some people on some lives so we can hear back from you guys as well, because I feel that that kind of makes the story complete, if you get what I mean. Right. So I've got a few. Where are my questions? I've got them there somewhere. Right. So, you know, if you've joined the live before, there's a few talking points today, which I obviously want to hear from you guys from. These are the questions I've got. I do appreciate if you don't drop comments and answer these questions. So we already asked you, what type of trade are you in? Please drop that in the comment section. Drop plumber, electrician, bricklayer, carpenter, HVC. Let's see who's watching the channel. So where are you based? Are you in London, Manchester, Scotland, Australia, Canada, Dubai? Let me know where you're watching from, because that always helps out, because I think my community is getting kind of broad, if you get what I mean, because like I said, people are tapping in from Australia, which I'm very thankful for, that people are listening to Australia. I'm obviously from London based, and I always ask people, what is your current day rate? Be honest, because your day rate right now, self-employed or employed, it gives people a good gauge to understand what others can get, you know. I obviously do my research before I do some of these videos, so I have got some facts for you by going through internet prices at the moment, but they're not always stable. It's more stable to hear from someone who's living out there right now and who can give you that, oh, I get paid £400 a day, £300 a day. That we want to hear. So if you are living out there, there is some new way for you guys to be able to direct message me, or just drop a comment and say, I'm willing to jump on the show, Mr. London Plumber, and we'll do it live. We'll talk about what it was like for you moving from London, England, going to Dubai, going to Canada possibly, or Australia. And it's just being a tradesperson. So I want to honestly hear what that's like. So if you're from the UK, this question's for you. Are UK tradespeople underpaid? And versus the skill, the work, the fuel, the insurance, and the responsibility, do you feel that the tradespeople now are underpaid in the UK? I thought someone said something in the chat. Right, just let me know if you feel like you're underpaid or paid right. I could tell you what I think. I honestly feel that UK people are underpaid in comparison to everything else. Why are there so many tradespeople moving abroad? What I see from my own perspective is that I see a lot of people coming over from Australia. I've met a few tradespeople that have come over from Australia to come to England, even though, contrary to this video right now, they came to travel and have a good time. You know, I'm not going to tell you that their main focus was coming over to the UK was to make money. That's not what they said to me. They did say that there were their friends who were over in Australia who were plumbers. They were killing it, like 200k, 300k salary. One guy was telling me that one of his mates had an airplane and all that. I was just thinking, you sure he's just a plumber? Buy the airplane, do you think I'll just be doing plumbing? No, we'll be doing drop-offs. I mean chartered flights, people. Don't get the wrong end of the stick. Right. How difficult is it for you to transfer your qualifications when you're going to Australia, when you are going to Dubai, maybe? Is it quite straightforward? I want to know from anyone who's been through that process, and how long does that period take? You know, is it something that you got done at one agency, they dealt with everything for you? Because I remember some years ago, I got a friend who's a qualified electrician, and he told me that he was going to move to Canada. And I was like, wow, man, Canada sounds cool, man. Could you get me a jacket? On a Canada Goose, obviously, isn't it? But he didn't end up going. But he had this one company who sorted out work. They sorted out accommodation for you. And they also made sure that your qualifications could be transferred over as one, but the contract fell through, so he didn't end up going in the end. But I knew about that years ago, and I thought to myself, it's interesting, you know, to be straight up and forward with you. If you don't have any commitments, kids, house, even if you do have a house, actually, it's not an excuse for you to not go. Why wouldn't you go? That's the question. I feel that as some tradespeople, we can be moany, right? Plumbing and heating. Gave up gas about 50 years ago. Plumbing and heating, yeah. So we've got some plumbers and heating, but you gave up gas about 50 years ago. That's a long time. I appreciate having you in the chat. So yeah, I want to know how easy it is for us to be able to qualify and get those qualifications over. Like if you're going to Canada, Dubai, stuff like that. I feel that's an interesting conversation. And what countries offer the best options for tradespeople? If you were going to move tomorrow, yeah, where would you recommend moving to? So I've got a few places what I want to tell you about. Australia is definitely one of them. Canada is definitely going to be another one. Middle East and somewhere else. Somewhere else for me would have to be like, I don't know, Bermuda or something like that, Cape Verde, Grenada or something like that. Called me over. They need me to come over, specifically just me. My work day's only for like 3 or 4 hours. The rest of the time I'm chilling. I could do that. I've got a lot of these vests what I could wear out there. Are there actually jobs available in any of these countries what we're talking about? That's what I want to hear back from. I obviously know that there are some huge projects going on all over the world when it comes to, let's say, Brisbane, yeah? They've got the Olympics in 2023, right? So they've got a big development going on. And there are major developments going around the Middle East, and Canada is still growing. So they always need tradespeople, right? But it's always good to hear from people who are out there in that situation overseas and looking at it from that perspective. Working overseas, are companies generally crying for skilled tradespeople, or is it an exaggeration? Are people exaggerating? Is there 1 or 2 jobs? What do you think? So good, we've got some commenters right now. If you're self-employed running your own thing, you'll never underpay lads. If right, hi Frank, UK wages are good, but so the UK wages are good, yeah, but the salaries could be better. Okay, that's interesting. Where are you from saying that? Just let me know in the chat where you're from when you said that. Still, hi friends. UK wages are all right, but good. Well, yeah, I'll agree with some of that. So my next question would be, what is the biggest problem with UK trades industry? Is it low pay, too much options, or customers always trying to get the cheapest quote for the market, or is it something else? I think it could be a number of things. If you guys are asking me, it could be a number of things like underpaid. The industry grows and the money still isn't being spent. It's like people are holding back on it. my next question would be to you guys. Would you leave the UK? Final question. Would you leave the UK? If someone doubled your current wages tomorrow, would you move abroad, or is family and quality of life better here where you are now? Right, I've got some things that I want to say about some of these countries and stuff, yeah? Because I told you I do my research as much as I can before I jump online. So we're going to talk about Australia. Australia faces a lot of problems with house shortages at the moment. So they need to build a certain amount of houses in Australia, but the government is struggling. So the government has set out some new targets for construction workers. Obviously, we spoke about the Brisbane Olympics in 2023, in 2032, sorry. That's going to be driving a lot of tradespeople and major works in Sydney, Melbourne, for larger residential and commercial projects. So that's what's going on around Australia. And let's look at Canada now. Canada also has a big problem when it comes to house shortages. Toronto, Vancouver as well. So there's been currently a lot of investment within new houses being built within those areas. So the demand for skilled tradespeople is going up in Canada. So they say that tradespeople are getting higher wages in Canada. Yeah, that's what I've found out. Let me know if that's true or not. Saudi Arabia, hundreds of thousands of pounds have been bought into major construction work and infrastructure, part of a long-term agreement, right, to transfer the country. Sorry, there are many UK tradespeople. So many UK tradespeople have went over there for the salaries and the tax-free. The tax-free cycle when it comes to residence rules, working on long-term contracts, remotely as well, and working away from home. So that could be something of interest. Would you work in Saudi Arabia because you're not going to be paid tax and your salary is going to be a lot higher? I would consider it. Those are things that will make people move. So let's talk about Dubai. Dubai continues with a high-rise developments and luxury homes and hotels, major infrastructure projects. Skilled tradespeople are needed, but projects pack in. So they need a lot of skilled tradespeople over in Dubai. Tax-free again, salaries worth living. Okay. So I wanted to give people, you can make money here. So we're saying in the chat, you can make money here. What is money? You're not telling me how much money is to you. So is that Anthony? We heard that you can make money, but too much regs. Is that like we've got too much rules and regulations within the construction scheme? Is that what you mean? So I want to give you some around ballpark figures, yeah? And then not for anyone to be like, oh, I'll get more than that. No way this person gets less. They're just ballpark figures. Nobody fight over it, right? So in the UK, people are getting around anything from like 150 to 300 per day, depending on employee, right? That could be fair. So when we look at Australian people, we're looking at Australians' day rate could be around $250 to $450 per day, right? Depending on the environment. Canada, we're looking at $180 to $350 per day. Saudi Arabia, the packages vary. And I wasn't able to find out how much that was, neither in the UAE as well, which is Dubai. I wasn't able to find that out. But I do think that people are moving for the beneficial of having better work-life balance. I think UK can't compare to Australia's sunshine, Canada's summers, Saudi Arabia's heat, and Dubai's hot heat and bright lights. It's very different. You're in a different place in the world, right? So I want to hear from people who have experienced this or went over to these countries and explored it within the comment section, because it's interesting to hear back from people who have done this and have not looked back one bit, because UK tradespeople, we tend to sometimes complain about the circumstances what we're in, yeah, and I've been a complainer about the circumstances what I've been. Is it private com? I don't know what you mean by is it private com building? Is it private accommodation? Are you talking? What I will say is that I had a friend that went to Saudi Arabia, yeah, and she was a nanny, I'm quite sure. She went with her son. And the package, what she got, when she came back to England, because she came back here a couple of times, she was balling. Big dough. Big dough. She paid for everything. I mean, it's not something that it's not something for me, but I mean, she was out here flashing the card, talking about, do you want me to grab that for you? Do you want me to grab that for you? Chip and pin was kicking in. But are you willing to change your lifestyle for the future or for a period of time so you can get ahead and possibly move back to the UK? Because we all saw like people rush to Dubai, UAE when that happened, right? So loads of people, British people, went out to Dubai. Then obviously like a couple things started happening, bombings and all that stuff. People started coming back. But I haven't heard from a lot of like UK tradespeople, whether you're from Manchester, Scotland, Ireland, like you moved over to Dubai and you got this construction business. I've not really heard of many people like that. I might have to search, see if there's some videos like on YouTube or something like that. I've heard quite a few people moving over to Australia before and documenting their journey. I think that's quite cool for content, but it's got to be worth it, innit? Again, my main commitments, obviously family and having a car here, but a car is not so much of a big problem because you can sell the car and just go. You know, you can get another one when you get back. It's just going to be catching dust when you're away anyway. But it's something that I would definitely start exploring now in life, because you give yourself more options as you get older, innit? I feel that when you're a little bit younger, you're quite closed off to what could be, you know, and you growing up in England, you think it's everything. The world is a big place, isn't it? I'm just trying to explore these things with open-minded people who understand that you're not killing it here. You could be killing it somewhere else. Like, the move for me, personally, it would be US, to be honest. Like, more chance to be able to be successful. I think for me, I'm talking about for me personally, and I just think US would be a good shout for me. What do you guys think? Do you think US would be the best shout for me, or do you feel that it's somewhere like Australia, Canada, Saudi Arabia, or UAE? I'm interested to know. Let me know in the comment sections now if you feel that America would be the best country for me as a plumber. Um, I feel it will be, but I do think that Australia will be interesting, man. I think Australia will be never a dull day. You know, there's always shit going on. And you could make a sick YouTube channel out there. And just meeting some of the people. I've got a few friends from Australia who are plumbers and always been busy, always seem like really nice lads. People that I watch online in Australia are like other tradespeople. I watch a guy who does lawn mowing as well. So he goes around and cuts people's lawns and stuff like that. I watch him on quite a regular. And he's shorts every day. He seems like he's just enjoying himself as a person, you know. The sun does definitely have that effect on you. Not that I would want to be working out in the blistering heat all the time, but after a while, you just get used to it, innit? You're not really going to start complaining about the sun being too hot. You're just going to get used to it, lose some weight, and find yourself some tank tops, some vests, something what shows off your guns. Do you get it? Somewhere you could just be like, yeah, I'm the plumber. Do you get it? Somewhere decent, but as long as you find somewhere like that, I'm sure the sun is not going to be the main reason why you're going to say you're not going to go. That's probably going to be one of the things what are going to entice you to probably move abroad. And hearing something like a tax-free salary, which is going to save us thousands. Places like Dubai, Saudi Arabia, they sound more appealing. If you're on like a, say you was on like a 250, is it private or is it a private company or is it a government company? I don't mind hearing from anyone that works for either. So if you work for a private company or a government company and you work in any of these countries, Australia, Canada, Saudi Arabia, or the UAE. I'm not going to call it Dubai because it's not what it's called. It's called the UAE. You're going to learn stuff when you come to this channel, people. You're going to learn not to be so, you know, we're going to get smart with it. Yeah? That's what we're doing. So having that tax-free salary, yeah, my God, it sounds appealing because the amount of money what I've paid in tax myself is something which I'm not proud of, but it's something which, if you're trying to be a high earner, you're going to have to contribute more of your tax to these types of things to be able to get that money. I know some of us, we just love England, innit? And I'm not trying to say I don't love England. I do. But I've seen it with my cousin. He lives abroad now. He's lived there for about 4 or 5 years. And once after the first year goes, you don't ever need to ask them people, are you coming back? Because they ain't coming back. They ain't. And he was born and raised here. But having a good job, a healthy balance, less worry about your kids and your future, I feel that there's not much need for you to come back. Like, what's dragging you back? There's airplanes, you know, you can always come back and see people. You're saving money. I suppose fruit and veg, a weekly shop might be a little bit more expensive in somewhere like Australia, I suppose. But Canada, again, might be more expensive, a weekly shop. Dubai could be expensive within a weekly shop in comparison to like UK or something like that. UK might be the lowest on that list. when it comes to weekly shop. Depends. I don't know. I shop in M&S, guys. So you lot might be shopping in Aldi and all these types of places. So I'm not looking for any deals. I'm looking for quality food. So we're not doing all that shit. But my bougie lifestyle could. Oh, you're shopping in Tesco's. Are you getting Tesco's value, or are you getting the like Tesco's? You know, you got that little. What is it called? It's called Tesco's something, isn't it? It's like where they do the nicer desserts. You know, Tesco's got one little gem. They got that GL dessert. You know the one I'm talking about, isn't it? See that little GL dessert with a little chocolate gold sprinkles on the top? Yeah. Tesco did it right with that one. They got that one out the back. But what I'm asking you guys is just that there isn't any Tesco's in any of these other countries, yeah? So we're going to have to find somewhere else to shop. Hopefully there's some 7-Elevens open or something like that where you can get groceries and food. But it would be good to hear from people who are thinking about moving to these countries just for a better life. And what's the reasons why you would move to somewhere like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane? Like I said, they got large construction projects going on, whether it comes to housing, the Olympics. The Olympics boom is always a good one to jump on because you'd always make money. I used to work at Stratford, yeah. So I worked at the Olympics when it was over here, actually. And I actually lit the flame on the news. I wish I had that video, man. I lit the flame because I used to do judo for England. I've never told people this, but yeah, I used to do judo for England, and I lit the flame on the 2012 Olympics when I was in Stratford. Really proud moment. And I actually worked at the Olympic Centre, so to get one of the pools ready and stuff like that. That was a little moment. Plumbing and gas fitting. So plumbing and gas fittings, prior water systems. I could go on for making those for years. Right, so someone's a plumber and a gas fitter, and they also do water systems. Yeah, they're in the chat right now, and that's lasted for the last 55 years. I get you, but do you think that someone who's in their 30s, 20s, they're going to get a job as a plumber or a tradesperson in the UK now? Do you think they're going to be able to afford a home to live? Because I always ask people, half of the houses what you work on, new builds, say they're like, I don't know, 300,000, 200,000, or yeah, let's say they're 200, 300,000. Yeah. Most of the plumbers that do the first fix or second fix, they couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford it because they're not even getting like 50 or 60,000 after tax. So how are they going to be able to afford the lifestyle? They're going to have to hope that their granddad or grandma passes their own house down to them, because it's becoming a reality with a lot of tradespeople that they'll never be able to afford a house in the UK. I live in London, yeah? And in certain parts of London, to get a house, the minimum is £1 million. Who's going to give you that mortgage? Learn the systems. Learning the system, lads. But what is the system? Is the system designed for us to win, or is the system designed for us to be losers? Because the system's set up in a way where there should be progression from people from point A to point B to point C, right? So A might be your beginning, apprenticeship, When you get to B, you should be able to look for like, or hopefully afford to have a property. So you need about 100K deposit, depending on what type of salary you've got as well on top of that, because you want to have a realistical understanding that you're going to be able to pay that off and not be paying something off for 20 or 40 years. I mean, it's crazy. And I say it's crazy because look, I've had 2 cars on finance before, yeah, and paying the payments felt like hell. Every month I'm having to pay out. Yeah, I got a nice car. Yeah, it looks nice. Depreciating value though. Can't do anything until I finish off paying. Same with a house. Some people live in a house for 10, 15 years, have the same dry ass kitchen, same dry ass bathroom, and they're waiting 10 years to do the bathroom up, 10 years to do the kitchen up, cost 15 to do the kitchen, cost 8 to like 10 grand to do the bathroom. They ain't got that. People going to Aldi trying to buy shower curtains and saying, could you put that up for me, please? Ma'am, you better put that up yourself. There's no point in me calling me around to do it because it's going to cost you more money. Read the instructions at the back, put it up yourself. My advice. So what system are we trying to learn here, people? Are we trying to learn the system is broken or the system doesn't work or it works in certain ways? Get your qualifications, adjust, pivot, look at Australia, look at Canada, look at Saudi Arabia, look at UAE. These are other countries who are offering different things what we can't get here as a tradesperson. Oh yeah, you need to learn the system. Okay. Thumbs up on that one, my guy. Learning the system is definitely something that we need to speak about on this channel. So if the system is to get your qualifications in the UK, yeah, because they're recognized in a lot of different places, yeah, due to, let's just look at everywhere where's in the Commonwealth, your qualifications are easy to be transferred over, right? So there's loads of countries in the Commonwealth. So Australia is definitely in one of them countries, and Canada, I'm quite sure, is in one of them countries as well. Saudi Arabia is definitely not in them countries. UAE is not, but that's why I'm interested to hear from people who have worked in Saudi Arabia and UAE to see if it's easy for your qualifications to be transferred. Once we get to understanding that and possibly get someone on the live to be able to talk about it, that'll be a really good conversation for us to have with each other, because we're no longer playing this guessing game and talking about, is the tax-free salaries worth it? Are you going to make more money as a tradesperson by getting your qualifications and going over to Dubai and being somewhere where it's tax-free, where you've got a good package, where your children, maybe a child who you got or something like that, they've got free childcare, picking them up, all that type of stuff. You've got a driver. That's what was happening to my friend who was out in Saudi Arabia. She had all that. So she had a good package, like tax-free money, got a lot of time off, private healthcare, got her kids went to a nice nursery and stuff like that, had a good upbringing. And again, in somewhere like Canada, got a lot of projects, massive projects, which are going on in Toronto, Vancouver. And there are currently a lot of interest and investors investing in houses being transferred, but they need and they're craving the demand for skilled tradespeople, right? So you could set yourself up for a life there. But on paper here at the moment, it kind of looks like Australia is running the race, because Australia's government is obviously crying out for their house shortage. They demand, and their demand for new builds to be built is at a low at the moment. So they need skilled tradespeople, bricklayers, carpenters, electricians, plumbers. And obviously with them hosting the Olympic Games in 2032, they need their stadiums and everything else built. And is Australia still the best place for UK tradespeople to live and start up, to be earning high wages, right? Running your own business and company doesn't always mean that you're gonna be killing it though. Like I see that in the chat. There's a lot of people that run their own business and company, but I'll tell you something, they're not in the 10% of construction workers. And the 10% of construction workers are getting 77,000. That's what you need to get in the 10%. So even if you're running your own plumbing business or company, yeah, you need to be getting like 110K, a bit higher than that, for it to even be worth it. I think there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of things what you got to do: insurance, vans, quoting for work, all of that, tendering, getting contracts. I mean, it's got to be worth your while. Sometimes we need to earn a certain amount, people, for it to even be worth your while. You gotta understand that. Because a one-band man can earn so much, right? Let's say a good one-band man might earn like 60, 70K. Still got to pay tax on that, right? So even if he earns 60, we're looking at, he's only really taking them 40, 42, 43, somewhere around there. If he now went to Australia, one band man, started working out there, let's say he's getting, I don't know, $500 or $400 a day. You start doing the maths, it makes more sense for him to make money out there. Or let's say that he was out in Dubai or out in Saudi Arabia, is where you get the packages. No tax, 120K. You're calling people Habibi when you walk in the morning. Me too, man. Habibi. Straight away, because you're picking up on the lingua, because it is that time to sometimes get moving. And I feel that phobia of leaving the UK, feeling that we're leaving our friends behind and family, is the reason why a lot of people ain't going. The other reason is being in a foreign country and not feeling like you're welcome, or like it's not the place for you. What do you think? What do you think the race in the UK versus race in the UK versus Australia? What do I feel like the race? What do you mean by the race of people who work there? Just elaborate on that question quickly. Are you talking about the race of people who are in Canada and Australia? Like, we all know there's some people in Australia who are, yeah, they talk wild to other people. I've seen it, like I've asked people about, I worked with a guy from Australia and he lived there and he's from there and he came over here. And I asked him about like the Aborigine people and stuff like that, yeah? Oh, no, I mean being black. Okay, I know what you mean. Right. I worked with this guy. Let me tell you this story. Yeah? I worked with this guy, and I was asking him about Aborigine people in Australia. Yeah, and the vagueness, the way how he spoke about them people. Oh, they're dirty. They're this. They're that. Okay, they're the only true Australian people. Anyway, you're actually the immigrant, and they're not because they was there first. But anyway, you know, it's easy to be able to pick arguments with people who are dumb. Like if you choose to engage with people at work, just make sure they've got this similar type of intellect as you. If not, you will be self-educating them on something which they didn't know themselves. So the question was, no, being black or Indian, right? Asking me about being black and working in like Canada or something like that, I don't see that much, so much of a problem. UK has its limitations on black and Indian people in certain positions, as you can see, as that 1% of like CEOs and directors, yeah, of construction companies and that work in this type of industry, there's only 1% of them which are black and Indian. So it's never been a fair mix, right? But that's to be expected from living in a country which is mainly populated by white people, which that's what England is. You know, it's people might say that London is a multicultural society. Yeah, but once you start going out of London, it's definitely not. We all know that. And again, opportunities are not always given out to everybody. You know, I worked at Battersea Power Station, yeah, and the guy who was the manager at Battersea Power Station, yeah, the main head manager, his dad used to work at Battersea. So, you know, all that just handing it down to your son business. It's all of that in England, you know. Someone don't even have to fucking know what they're doing. Their dad's got to work there. And my dad used to work there for 30 years. So he ended up being a manager now. The fuck? My dad used to take me here when I was a kid. You know, I used to walk around here with my dad and whatever, man. Someone else might be qualified for the job, but they ain't getting it because your dad knows that guy, innit? And he made sure that you got in. Thank you for answering that. No problem, bro, man. I don't have any problem answering any types of questions when it comes up online for my chat and people who are locked in. I just know that when you are a different race like myself, you have to have all your qualifications. You have to know what you're talking about because people are going to test me more than they will test someone else, right? And that's something that I've been well aware of growing up over the years, right? So I don't take that personally. I just take that as someone that reads the room. Yeah? And when I look around and there's not many people like me in the room, doesn't make me not want to go into the room because I'm not a pussy. I will go in. I will find out what's going on. We won't judge people on other people's accountability. We'll judge them on my own. I look at someone, see what type of heart they got, see what type of person they are, and just judge them on how they're treating me. You know, I don't throw around the card, but I do let people know when things are inherently racist or inherently discriminated to a certain type of group of people. I always speak openly about that. I couldn't give a fuck if anybody don't like it neither. Stop subscribing and keep liking. That's what's going to keep me there. But we could talk about those subjects at another time. I appreciate everyone for being on the live. Make sure you do like the video before we drop off today. So someone's doing a private tomorrow. They're shower trap waste. Oh, you're doing that private tomorrow, yeah? Is that my guy from the gram? How's it going? How's it going, bro? I'm good, man. It's hot. I know it's hot. It's hot today, people, man. We are all hot today. Make sure you're enjoying the sun, people, man, because it only comes around a few times in the UK. So today I actually washed my car. Put some ceramic little wrap thing on it. I don't know if you guys do that after you wash your car. Do you put that ceramic wash on there? I do. I got a white car, so I like to keep it as clean as possible. So we're gonna drop the top later on today. Clean the glass as well, so the panoramic's all clean. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll put a little quick clip it up of me in the clean car. But yeah, I've had a good stream today, people. We had quite a lot of you guys come on. Hope you guys are supporting the journey and the questions which got asked today, which was about moving to a different country. You know, what's holding us back as people? What is the reason why a lot of tradespeople are moving abroad? You know, I think there's a lot of weighing factors within this conversation. The money being one of them, the opportunities being another one, quality of life, being able to wake up and like just on your off days, being able to walk down to the beach. That's fucking priceless, man. I mean, I would take lower wages for that shit. But I just have to give up having a nice car and being in London. Again, that might be an option for me at one point, you know, because I think sometimes you stop chasing the money and start chasing other things. I think a lot of the people in the UK are racist. I'm going to make a move outside. So someone said I'm going to make a move out of the UK. Are you going to apply for a visa? It depends, innit? You only have to apply for a visa at certain places, isn't it? London is turning. London is terrible, and overseas. London is becoming a little bit terrible nowadays, people. We're not going to write London off all the way because I'm born in London, yeah? I do like calling myself a Londoner, but there is a lot of change in what's been happening in London, man. You know, you got a lot of people making it some type of race thing with people nowadays. Oh, these people are stealing our jobs. Da, 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 da. There's jobs everywhere, man. I'll be honest. There's jobs everywhere, but most people ain't fucking employing anyone. I was watching your playlist and everyone I come back to when I get home. I appreciate part-time work in Diplomaship College. No problem, man. You enjoyed that video. So I made a video not too long ago about diplomaships and MVQs. If you're a newbie plumber, you should definitely check that out. Great bit of content. Thank you, my bro. Appreciate you for dropping that comment, man. Thanks for that, honestly. No problem, man. I enjoy making the content for you guys. I make content what's going to help people out, man. We haven't got time to be a bullshitter in life, man. People need information now, and they need it to be correct. I've always took a different approach to my YouTube channel, you know. I'm trying to really let you guys get to know me and not be this fake person for like when the camera comes on. Oh, hi guys. Oh, guess what we're gonna do today? I ain't any of them fucking plumbers. I ain't doing no fucking high-pitched voice neither. Where guess what? I'm dickheads. All Muppets. That's not me. I've been the original how I am, how I say it, how it is now, guy. Been like that from before, and that's all I'm doing right now. Is I'm just being the version of myself. You know, most plumbers who you guys follow, who else are online as well, they don't put as much effort into even streaming or coming on and being able to talk to you lot about the trade what we're in, the trade what we all want to explore, plumbing. And just speaking openly, I feel a lot of them don't do it because they're trying to chase the deal of getting like a little brand deal or doing something with someone. Me, I've done that shit already. Your content is very refreshing. I'm not even a plumber. I'm an electrician, but I'm interested. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate all of you guys that come on, because my content doesn't always have to be about plumbing and just the trade. Sometimes I like to give people a perspective from just the outsider, because when you do the trade for long enough, yeah, all you do is breathe shit and talk about the same bollocks, right? And for some of us, it's like we live in a bubble, right? But there are so much things going on outside that bubble of life, of your opportunities, where you can actually be working, what you can be doing, what environments you can be in. Like, as a plumber, I'll tell you a few different environments what I've worked in personally, yeah? So I've worked for some of the biggest corporate solicitors in Europe, which are in Holborn, yeah? I worked for high-end residential billionaires, people that live in Regent's Park, people that live in King's Road, Grosvenor Square. I've also worked for the police at one point. I worked not for the police. I wasn't a Fed. I'll never be a Fed. I've worked at a police data center. So, you know, you got these data centers where they have a lot of these racks and stuff like that. It was owned by the police. So I didn't work for them, right? It sounded good when I said that shit, but I had to realize I'm not a fucking snitch boy. And if any of you lot are, come off as well, man. We ain't doing none of that crap. Right. So being in that environment, and I've also worked within nightclubs as well within London. So I used to work inside the building, what used to be where Tiger is. I don't know how old you lot are, but if you know where Tiger is in Leicester Square, for one, you be an old guy. Two, that I used to work at that place. I used to work in that whole building. I used to run that whole building. That's on Pall Mall Road, where the big black horse is on the corner. Also worked at Battersea Power Station. And what other interesting place I worked? I used to work for Amazon, actually. Amazon headquarters in Liverpool Street. So Amazon own 52 buildings in West End, and they're all positioned at different points. I used to work at one of the main center points, which is on Liverpool Street. Very big building. Used to do the cooling towers there. I haven't got any videos of me working there, but I've got them on my Instagram. But I've had a good run, people. Worked in private healthcare as well. So I've had a good run of different places. And I've not limited myself off to just one part being a plumber. Do you get it? I've allowed myself to let my adjustables whack them in the face and get about and go to different places and explore different places for my own personal gain, but also to be able to get just more experience within this industry. Like, you're never going to get a lot of experience just doing one thing. Like, I just change boilers, or I just do this, or just do that. Okay, cool. You don't know how to, you don't know why this washer needs replacing, though, do you? I'm just reading some of the comments. I'm not a, oh, okay, I read that person. Tight. I used to go. What's this person saying? So, what's your thing? Why your status stays work maintenance for? What is? One second. You work in static sites. Do I work in static sites and maintenance? And yeah, I worked in static sites and maintenance, of course. I worked at a few sites where there was CBRE before, but I don't. I've made a video on CBRE talking about my experiences about them. It wasn't the greatest at the end of the day, but that's my own self experience. I always ask people for what they think, and CBRE maintenance jobs and those types of facilities jobs cannot compete with the salaries what you will be getting abroad doing any type of plumbing or maintenance work. The salary is going to be a lot better. Like, yeah, peeps. I just seeing my neighbor spark up his barbecue outside, so I better get out, drop the top on the whip as it's clean, and enjoy the rest of the sun. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your day too. And keep subscribing, people, man. Drop your comments on a couple of the things what we said today. We had quite a long live today, but I appreciate you all. Make sure you like this post before I leave. Have a great day. Take a towel with yourself as well, because some of you sweaty, just like myself, and enjoy the rest of the day. Subscribe.